All right, so let's get started and create a new deployment on Elastic Cloud. So as you can see here, I'm already logged into my Elastic Cloud account. So I don't have any deployments yet. So I'm going to create my first one. So you come here and click on this button called Create Deployment. Once you click on this button, you're going to be presented with the template options for your deployment. So there are 4 of them, but for the sake of the Pac-Man with the Elastic Stack demo, we're going to choose the Elastic Stack template. So go ahead and click Select. And once you do this, as you can see here, you're going to be requested to specify which hardware profile this deployment are going to use. There are 5 of them, but for the sake of this demo, either you can choose the memory optimizer, which is the most appropriated one since we're going to handle intensive aggregation operations for the demo. But you can also pick and choose the IO optimizer. Both of them are going to work, although if you can, just pick memory optimizer. I think it's a better option for, especially if you intend to have lots of users playing the Pac-Man demo concurrently. So after selecting the hardware profile, you're going to scroll down a little bit on the screen, and then you're going to see this section called Deployment Settings, where you're going to have the chance to actually specify which cloud provider and region you're going to use. So just click here on this Spend button, and you will be able to select either GCP, Azure, or AWS as your provider. So for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to pick Google Cloud. And then once you select the cloud provider, the list of regions is going to be updated automatically here on this combo box. So you just come here and select the region where you would like to have your deployment installed. So I'm based on North Carolina, so I'm going to pick here North Virginia, which is pretty close to where I am right now. The version of this Elastic Stack are going to be always automatically set for the last one, which is for the date of this recording is the 7.9.2 release, which is more than fine for this demo, right? Probably you don't have to change this when you are doing by yourself. And then you're going to scroll down a little bit more on the screen until you see this Customize button over here, where you're going to click it. So click on Customize button, where you're going to have the chance to actually customize your deployment. By customize, we mean that you can actually select different shapes for your compute nodes. For example, based on the hardware profile that we've selected before, we're going to have our data nodes distributed across 2 availability zones. But you may have made some requirement that dictates that you need to have only 1 or maybe 3 availability zones. So this will be an example of a situation where you would want to customize your deployment. In this case, you don't have to change anything regarding availability zones. The only thing that you need to do is to customize your deployment of your data nodes to enable cores on the data nodes. Reason being, the Pac-Man demo is going to run entirely on a browser, and by the time the events are created by the game and be sent to Elasticsearch, what's going to happen behind the scenes is that the game is going to invoke a lot of REST APIs that belongs to Elasticsearch, and because we're running the game in a browser, that will incur into some cross-site requests. And that's the reason why we have to enable cores in our Elasticsearch cluster. For you to do this, just come here on this User Setting Overrides. You click it, and then you're basically going to be presented to a minimal version of the Elasticsearch YAML file that usually developers use it for customize the behavior of your Elasticsearch nodes in a cluster, right? But what you have to do is very, very simple. Just append this file over here and put this information about cores that are provided in the set of instructions of the repository on GitHub, right? Just copy and paste, easy as this, and then you can simply comprise back your user setting overrides. And we are ready to roll. I mean, everything regarding customization has been done. So once you do this, you just scroll back to the bottom of the page until you see again the button Create Deployment, which is the button that actually is going to start the process of creating this deployment on Google Cloud. So I'm going to click it. And then right after you click that button, two things are going to happen. The first one, as you can see here on the background, is spinning, the cursor of spinning. The deployment is being created on Google Cloud as we speak. And then you're going to show up, pop up in your screen, this message box that basically gives you the username and password for the Elasticsearch cluster. Take a note of both the username, which is Elastic, and the password, because this is going to be necessary when we start the session that deploys the application on a cloud provider, right? So don't forget to take a note on this. And once you do this, you can simply continue without downloading. And then you're gonna just have to wait a couple minutes for the deployment to finish. Thanks for watching.